we're on Facebook Live. Let's talk relationships. Good afternoon. Good evening. Join us. I'm your co-host, Life Coach Terrence Perry. Beside me on both sides, I have three beautiful ladies. I'm going to properly introduce them this evening so we'll know who's who and what's what. To my left is Adrian Charleston, psychologist, author of Butterfly Flow. You mind holding up Butterfly Flow for us? Maybe get a chance to read us a poem tonight. I seen one called Love that I want to hear more about. So maybe we get a chance to tag that. Also to my right, leadership coach, leadership development coach. We have Bashana Price. And also to my right, we have Sandra Hardy, image consultant. So we're going to get into the topics of Let's Talk Relationship. Lorinda, our producer, you ready?
Yeah.
I can't tell.
Let's do it.
All right, so we're going to start. Let's start to the right. To my right, but it's to you all's left. So, Sandra, we're going to start with the topic, and we're going to butterfly flow with it.
All right.
I like it. All right. So our first topic actually comes from one of our viewers. And the question is basically in a relationship where you have two people that have family or children from other people, how do you handle the baby daddy and the baby mama situations? How is that in a way that's conducive in the relationship?
Yeah.
When I was married, we had that. It was a blended family. I had a son. He had a son. And the way I handled it is I allowed him to handle it. Like that's not my place. I am there when the child is in my home. I'm there to care for the child, to be there for the child, to be with the child at that time. But this is the child's mother. I never tried to overstep my boundaries. I never tried to discuss things with just her or why are you doing this? That's their child and that's their discussion. But also he had a good relationship with her, which fostered a good relationship between the two of us. Because even after I divorced, she gave me a call. We divorced. She gave me a call and she was like, well, you're still his stepmom. You're still in our lives. You're still, and he was just here. They actually moved to Texas and he was just here in April for a whole month. So got to keep him, see him, all that stuff. So it's one of those things that everybody has to be on board. It's not always about, because they would get into heated discussions, arguments, disagreements, but that's their stuff. Like I can't get into their stuff. I can't get into their history. I can't get into their communication styles. And sometimes I would tell my ex, hey, you probably were a little bit hard. You might want to, scale back, let mom do what she needs to do, say what she needs to say. But I don't say that to her. Like I just kind of stayed out of it. But I think I was a great stepmom.
Well, what happens when it comes into your household? So say the relationship is not a good relationship and that mother, baby's mama is using that child in ways of pulling the man out, and where it becomes he chooses either respect the wife or choose to do what the mother is saying as the hostage for the child. So what happens in those situations? Because a lot of times it's, it's probably 50-50.
Child is a pawn in the game.
Yeah, in the game versus it being able to work as great as yours did. So what happens at that point? How do a person deal with those situations when it comes to something like that? I know she has to address it with the husband, but at what point, if the husband is not listening, should she be passive and just let things go the way because basically at that point, I guess the wife, the baby's mama is controlling their household and hers. Right. So what happens at that point?
If she's trying to control both
right.
households.
So to say, he says, I want to see her. Well, you have to come to my house to see you. The child can't never go over to the other person's house. So then all of a sudden he's always there doing things as though they're still together, versus him, being with his wife that's now. So it's like choosing between the two. So how do you, a situation like that, how does she handle it, or how should he handle it if he is the person that's being torn between the two families.
Go ahead.
I know I've already talked.
Yeah.
For me, it's all about communication, and like before you marry someone that has a child with someone, you already know that situation. The situation didn't turn up overnight. You already know if they're not communicating properly, if they're not handling the situation properly, or if it's going to be a nightmare between them. So this is not going to be new to anybody in the situation. So it's a matter of, do you want to go into this? How can you go into this and you be okay with all this stuff that is going on? Because if he's over there while you're married, he was over there while y'all were dating. He was over there before y'all met. And it's to a point where nothing happened. Like, it was never discussed. It was never brought to the forefront. But at the same time, you have to be careful, because if he changes it, it's because of you. It's not because of him wanting to change it. I'm talking about in the mother's mind.
Yeah.
It's in her mind. It's, oh, you got this new girlfriend. Oh, now you don't want to come over here. Oh, you can't do this for your child. And it's more of, he was probably feeling a need for the family instead of just for the child. So it's kind of a slippery slope when you add all that stuff in together. So go ahead.
No, I mean, it's I'm married, so I haven't been in this situation, but watching other people kind of navigate that, it's all about, like you said, communication, but then also these checkpoints along the way. Like, what happens is it's a one-time thing. At least what I've heard people talk about, it's like, well, one time it was kind of a touchy situation, or the plans change, and then that one time becomes the pattern, versus saying, hey, this is how we're going to do things. He's going to come to our house on these days, or he's going to go to other houses on those days. And if people don't keep those agreements, rather than letting the behavior go unaddressed, address it in the moment.
Right.
As best you can.
Yeah.
And like Adrian said too, it ain't something that just came up all of a sudden. You've seen those patterns along the way. So you entered that mess because you're a part of that mess. Because in the dating phase, you would have saw the flags, the red flags then. Because even while you dating, those things would have probably have came up some. So by the time you've gotten married, there's drama over here.
Not always.
Or not always, but I'm just saying, just in general.
Yeah.
But
sometimes people get insecure.
It's like you're not blind to what's going on. You're a part of that mess if it's a mess. Or if you stop that mess before it became a mess, like you said, then there were checkpoints along the way. And along the way, we checked those points.
Yeah.
So it didn't get to be all crazy. But it only gets crazier when both sides allow it to get crazy and they don't ever stop it.
Right.
Because they love mess.
Okay, so would it have been right for the man to talk? Because I don't think it should have been the woman to say anything to the baby. It should be the man to say, look, I'm with her now. I love my child. I want to spend time with my child. What's with us is over. So I just need to be able to work this out to the best for my child. And I want my child to be able to spend time with the wife I'm with now, or,
And sometimes those words might put them on the defense. I'm with her now. We're not together. And she, in her mind, is, and sometimes in the mother's mind, it's not.
Explain it.
In her mind, it's like, I don't want you. It's not about you. And then sometimes it's about them protecting their child, and sometimes it can be too much protecting their child. And the man sees it as, or the wife or whoever sees it, she still wants you. And sometimes it's not that she still wants them. It's just that she's like, I don't know you. I don't want you around my child. But because some people are like that.
Yeah.
But if he hits her with, I don't want to be with you, I'm with her now, she's probably like, I don't want you either.
But but that's what I'm saying. So the situation, you got to determine what it is. Is it the child or is it the mother? Because sometimes if the breakup was the man and not the woman, then 9 times out of 10, that woman still wants that man, and whoever he comes in contact with, she feels she's got this golden goose egg that she can utilize,
Yeah.
So
and he knows that. He would know that before getting into a relationship or marriage
with somebody else. He would know who he's dealing with.
Yeah. For sure. By that point.
So how do you think people stay in a relationship but also keep to their individuality? How do you think that happens?
I think that communication, which is very much key. You have to respect what that person is, who that person is, and what that person was trying to accomplish even before you came into their life.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that you connect with the things that bind you together, but still respect the things that are on the outside that are driven in their personal goals or personal things that they're trying to achieve.
Mm-hmm.
So not to trample one to build the other,
Right.
but respect the other and then actually chime in and support whatever that other person is doing. And so then you build together
Mm-hmm.
and you respect what each other's doing. So it actually becomes, as you look at it, whatever it is you're doing becomes, you know, kind of all together. And so
Yeah,
you don't
I see that.
lose yourself in a relationship. I don't think you should never lose yourself, but you always have to be mindful of that, because sometimes you wind up doing that. And when you actually look back on it, you're like, wow, I gave up. I was doing this, and this, and now I'm doing more of what he was doing and not anything of what I was doing. So I think you really have to be mindful of that.
Mm-hmm.
So let me ask you, because you've been married for 12 years.
Almost 12, yeah.
Almost 12 years. So how have you not lost yourself in the marriage, and how have you been able to stay, you know, independent in who you are?
Yeah. You know, it's a lot. Some of it is you got to demand it, take it.
Mm-hmm.
You have to know what you want and be willing to say, like, I want me time now, or I want to see this movie. Next time we'll see that movie. You have to know what you like and what you don't like and be able to say that. A lot of times it's deferred.
Right.
It's like, well, it's okay. We'll,
Mhm.
you know,
Passive.
right.
Yeah.
Or it's like, I don't care, when you do really care.
Mhm.
And then you don't say you care, and then you
It
get
builds up,
frustrated
right.
because you didn't get what you wanted. So that's how I do it. And then for me, I am consistent. Like I like to work out. So that's my time. It's in the morning. I do that 3 days a week or more. And it's like, there's very little that gets in the way of that. And if I get that, then I'm okay giving other things.
Mhm.
Let me ask you this. At the beginning of the relationship, during the dating phase, knowing it, then once you get into the engagement phase, did you have that conversation about this is who I am, per se, or this is what I want to do? And I know this is what you want to do. I support you. I want you to support me, and we're gonna, you know, have our separate dreams, but also our bigger dream, and we can do it in this marriage together.
Yeah.
Are you with this? You know, that's
we did,
sort
but
of a conversation.
we started young, so we started in college together and built
That's a good time to visit
together. And we've had some rocky times. We lived apart for 2 years when we had our first child. But all of it was about still wanting to be married. So you have to choose to want to be married, and you have to stay in that choice no matter what. And then understanding that sometimes you have to give each other room. And there are certain things that you may say, I don't do, like I don't cook in my house. It's not that I can't cook, but I very rarely cook because we have 2 children, and he likes to cook, and he likes to have quiet time. And cooking is very relaxing. And I like to eat, and so it works.
So it works.
So it works.
Yeah, so it works.
Right?
You got to do what works.
And you have to do what works. I think sometimes what happens is people try to do what they see other people doing, or what their parents did.
Model.
Yeah.
Well, women supposed to cook.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Men supposed to do so and so, then
we both work, and we both have kids, and so that's how we find our balance. And like he starts the laundry, and I finish it.
Right.
That works for us. Right. But being able to figure that out and find that balance is what I think has helped me keep me and help him keep him.
Yes.
And that's important. Because then you lose yourself, and you find, I think that's why we either lead to divorce or have the question of like, who are you? Right. How did you?
We got a Facebook Live question.
Yeah.
Mary said that she's glad to hear you talk about finding activities separate from your mate.
Yes.
Oh, for
so
sure.
Adrian, what's your take on it?
No, that's absolutely the best thing to do. And like Miss Sandra was saying, the support. As long as you're supporting them in their outside endeavors, and they're supporting you in your outside endeavors, and when it becomes a chore, or somebody is not wanting you to do something for whatever reason, then that needs to be a discussion, because different people do anything. Like when I was married, we used to ride. He had his motorcycle. I had a motorcycle too.
You're a motorcycle rider.
Yes,
Awesome.
but I used to I used to push him to go,
See,
like go.
Mhm.
I'll stay at home with the kids because my stepson's special needs. So somebody when our months that we had him, somebody always had to be home, and I'm like, go ride, go hang out with the guys, do you.
Mhm.
Right. I'm good.
Right.
I'm good at home. I'm good sitting here with the boys,
Mhm.
with the little boys. You know, you go with those boys. I'll stay at the house with these boys, and we're good. So it's all about balance and support. But as soon as one is like, oh, you run out again.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, what am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to be here without you? And I know I changed my tone of voice, but that goes for men and women. I've had
Right.
Oh yeah.
men tell me that as well. Like it's crazy, but yes.
And Monique says that respecting each other's individuality is important.
Yes,
That's right.
yes,
That's right,
it
Monique.
is.
It definitely is.
So let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Can you respect each other's individuality, but like you just said, also have some concerns about what another person is doing and be able to have that conversation, but not be offended that you had that conversation.
I think
You
you,
know.
can. Like, for instance, you want them to do activities, but at the same time, the activities that they're doing, you need to be mindful of the situation that you put yourself in. You
Right.
understand? So some things may be not conducive for a married relationship for a man that's in a married relationship to go to, even though his friends may be going, but it may not be something that would be conducive to that relationship. If, you know, to say going to a strip club, for instance. Okay, so you said go hang out with your friends, do you.
Mhm.
Well, his friends just so happen to be going to a strip club, and some women would not prefer a man to be going to a strip club.
What would you say to that if you was
I mean, I'm fine with that.
you?
They're, men are
Everybody's
men.
different.
Not in, but let me say in general.
In general, I think you have to
to-
be. It's about intentions and it's about trust. There are some men who can do that and their
Yes.
wives don't mind it and it's no thing.
Right,
And there are others who that leads them to other things,
right. Get-
pornography, other things
Right.
that
Mhm.
take them away.
Mhm.
So both people have to understand the boundaries of what's there,
Yes.
and be able to stand within those boundaries and say when you don't like it. Because
Right,
sometimes
yeah.
people don't say.
Right, and then they let it happen.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
it's
that's what I'm saying.
okay.
If you say you
Right.
don't like it, but it's not that I don't want you to be you or
Right.
be the independent you that you are, but that's just something that I don't like,
I don't-
and I'm letting you know. I don't think that
point
would
is a
break us
respect. I think that
Right.
point is a
Yeah.
respect of
Respect.
what is really bothering you.
Right.
Right. It's not that you're trying to hinder me from being who I am, but that particular thing it causes a problem or of some way you feeling. So therefore, because I love you, then I'm going to respect how you feel, and I'm not going to do that.
Right.
But you're not saying I don't want you to do any activities at all.
Right.
You're just saying that particular one there really bothers me, babe.
Let me take
And then
I'll take for instance, outside of say a strip club, some that affects the inside the household, like household income. If the guy or the lady say, "Hey, I want to open up a restaurant. This is me. This is my passion. I like to cook. I want to open up a restaurant." And you may say, "I support you, but I don't think now's the time, and I don't know if we have the money to do that because little Charlie, we saving for his school. He's gonna be going to school in a year, so I don't think the time is right." And then the guy gets mad. You ain't support me. It can get twisted, but you're not hating on the person trying to start, open up a restaurant or whatnot.
I guess it just depends.
There's a
Yeah, Mary was just saying that she's fine with her mate going to the strip club. Trust, again, is a paramount, and she might even go with him.
Yeah.
Well, then she can go with them, but
And it's all, and to me, it's all about trust and who the person is. My thing is, you don't have to go to a strip club to cheat. Like that's my
Right.
whole thing. If somebody's gonna do something, they're gonna do it. Doesn't matter where they are.
Sure.
You can cheat with the person working at Dollar Tree. So to me, strip club stuff doesn't really matter. And I say that because, and I guess because the way I grew up. So I'm gonna give y'all a quick childhood story. When I was growing up, I used to be called fast. I was a little fast girl because I was always going out. I was
Gemini.
always hanging out. I was always going to parties. We had clubs in Fayetteville for 12-year-olds.
Yeah.
We had daytime clubs. Like we had
Really?
clubs. So
Wow.
I was the
Like
person. Yeah.
I didn't know
And
that.
then in junior high, we had a nighttime club. It was right outside our neighborhood. We could walk to, so the whole neighborhood would go. So I was the one always at the club. But guess who wasn't doing anything? Me. Guess who was? The ones who the parents were like, oh, well, she has a boyfriend. Oh, they're together. This is so sweet and so cute. Those are the ones that are doing stuff. Not the one that's hanging out and being wild and being around people and dancing, because you know where I'm at. But you don't know what they're doing in that house. You can see what I'm doing at the club. Anybody can walk in there at any point in time, see where I'm at, see what I'm doing, because my mom and my sisters have done it. Because they know if I say I'm going to be here, because, you know, we didn't have cell phones and all that stuff back in the day. And if I say I'm going to be somewhere, they drive and show up and I'm not there. But they showed up
Right.
and they know what I'm doing.
And
But
telling
you,
it.
yeah, but you can't go to this boy's house, or when you're not home, your little girl has this little boy over. That, you know, so that all goes into anything can happen at any time if you want it to happen. So it doesn't really matter where they go. If they want to do something, you know, do something.
I'm going to go on record and say I wouldn't want them at a strip club. That's
Well, let
just
me-
me.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't have anything to do with the trust issue or whatever. But if you're going with a bunch of single guys out to a strip club, then you're going to want to act the way they act, because they're going to be.
Well, a man could have his own
urgent.
mindset, but
but I
I hear
think
you.
going back to even
Mm.
what Terrence was saying around, if it's not that, it could be something else. It could
Right.
be a future endeavor, right? Starting a business. It could be just conversations that I have sometimes around basketball or football leagues that take men out of the house maybe two
Yeah.
nights a week. And they've got kids, and who's doing bedtime and
Yeah.
bath, or it could be a woman who's scrapbooking, or that's in choir rehearsal, and it's
Mhm.
Mondays and
Friday.
Thursdays
And Wednesdays.
and when right,
Some
it's
people say church too much.
some
you know?
there can be an over and abundance of a lot of things, and
Yeah.
and it all kind of goes back to the can we have the conversation around not just the what but the how, because the what of the business is more than, I don't think we financially can afford it, so it's more around how can we work together, if
To
that's your
get there.
dream,
Right.
to get there, to
Yeah,
set money
it's
aside to
right.
get there.
It's how long do
Timing.
you want me to defer my dream would be the
Right.
problem. So if you say right now we can't do it, okay,
Let's
right
build a
now we
plan.
can't, but when can we?
Yeah.
So you need to just come with a when can we? Just
Yeah.
don't stop it. I don't
Right.
think this is it.
Right.
Okay, I can do that.
Yeah.
So when do you think we can? What we're going to put to the side so that we can do this?
Exactly.
Because
And also-
I
Come together and
Right.
do it.
But
Right.
also just let them know what the household budget is. I'm not saying this because I don't want you to do the business or now it's not a good time. I'm gonna show you now it's not a good time, and just show. Look, we got this, that, and the third.
they should
So
be know
they
what it
should
is
know,
as
but
much
they
as you
may
do. I
not,
mean,
because
you
if
know,
they talking about starting
they might
a restaurant or something, they might not know if
Right.
you know. So I mean,
Yeah.
they should know, but I'm just saying if they don't, it's good to just lay it out so they can see it plain and simple.
Yeah.
It's not me trying to stop you. It's just these are the numbers right here.
And
Numbers
let's
don't
work
lie,
together.
right,
and you see what we already up against.
Right.
So now it's not a good time.
right.
Okay, they can understand that. But if
Right.
you just, I don't like that, and I don't like what you're doing, you know, like if you say I don't like you going to the strip club, then that may have been a conversation that should have came up earlier in the relationship. It's just a conversation where what things do you like to do? You should know whether your gal, your girl likes strip clubs or things of that nature. So before you even got to the point of being married, you kind of know, well, did you hang out at a strip club before we got married? Is that something you and your boys did? We talked about it. You said that was something you weren't going to do. And then you're talking about doing it again. May have issue with that.
Yeah.
But if it's
Never
just some
conversation.
blindsided, hey,
Yeah.
we've been married now for 10 years. Now all of a sudden you want to go to the strip club.
Might be
I would
one
believe
time-
it.
might be
I
one
would
time
believe
thing.
it. Right. And you should allow, and you should
Where they
allow,
ended up.
Or
And
she
you
might
should
start
allow
better
for
looking
it.
at herself, going, "Okay, maybe I need to get up in that gym."
you know, but at the same time too,
Right.
that affects your belief systems, because when you go into that relationship and that marriage or so forth, there are belief systems that you already have, and certain things that you all want to do together, and certain things you say, I don't believe that, I'm not with that, that's just
Right.
not part of who I am. I don't want to partake with anybody that partake in that lifestyle,
Right.
Right.
you know.
Right. And And sometimes it's not that big. I know we keep going back to this but sometimes it's not even that. Sometimes it's I like to see scary movies and you don't.
Right.
So that, like, my husband goes with his sister to see scary movies because I don't like scary movies.
Right.
They stay with me too long, and I'm scary, and then I'll be walking around the house scared.
Jump.
Right. And,
That's the same
right.
way.
And it's great for them, and it works, and it's fantastic. You all go. I might want to hear about a part or two, but other than that, I don't. And it's not something that's big, but it can be, especially to people that aren't communicating.
Right.
Right. And it's this thing now where it's like, well, they don't want to do what I want to do. They always want to do what they want to do, or we can't find some common things we like to do together. And then that's when I think relationships end up in a place where you have people that are strangers or who haven't been able to grow together in the new things that they like or the new food that they like.
Doing too many outside activities and not enough inside.
Inside the relationship.
And getting to know each other.
Or, I mean, it's okay to do the outside activities, but bring the other person along. But the problem is no one's going to keep asking you, right? Like, hey, I want to try this thing.
Right.
And you're like, no, I'm good.
Right.
No,
So
I'm okay.
good.
Right. I mean, it's kind of like dating, right? Like, you only have so many times to shoot a guy down before they're not going to come back, or vice versa.
Right.
And sometimes, and then the one time you don't ask, it's like, you didn't ask me to go.
Because the last time you said no.
The last 50 times you didn't want to go.
What do you mean?
Right.
I just thought you should just ask. And you look
I've
like
asked you 10 times.
Right. So you teach people how to treat you in any relationship. Any relationship.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
So let's segue into the next question that Adrian has.
Oh, I have a question. So, true story. Y'all know I like to share true stories.
Uh-huh.
Not, they weren't proposing this to me. However, this was a friend. We were discussing things, and I was asking, like, what are you looking for? I talk about relationships with a lot of my male friends a lot, just to get the different perspectives and how we see things, and we all give each other great insight. And he told me that he wanted to be able to have someone he can have sex with, hang out with, and do things with.
All in one?
And I was like, how is that not a girlfriend?
He wants a friend with benefits,
wife?
somebody without any he wants somebody that he don't have any ties with, so he could be with somebody else.
No, because that's to me, that's ties.
But not in his mind, it's not.
It is ties, but at the same time, if you find someone that feels the same way, then that's ideal.
A friend with
it is a relationship, but they're just not calling it a relationship, and that's cool if that's what they wanted.
It's a
if they agree.
Yeah, because I mean,
every game is a mind game. Everybody have a mind game in their own head. It's a mind game. Everybody has that in their own head, because
you're pretty passionate about this.
Everything. That's why we do this, because we're passionate about it. So definitely.
I need to know why.
We do need to know why.
What's the question?
I'm going to put it in the group. Somebody wants to hang out, have sex, and what was the other thing?
And just kind of
do things
together.
And we know it's a relationship, but they're not calling it that, because if you got someone that feels the same way,
well, they're not.
But it's not a relationship in their mind.
It's a different type of relationship.
I asked him.
It's not traditional.
What did he say?
He said it wasn't a relationship. I was like, that is a relationship. No matter how you define it, that's a relationship.
But see,
every interaction though that you have with someone
is a relationship.
Is some type of relationship
at some level.
Even if you go to the grocery store and you pay the girl at the counter for the grocery, if that's a relationship.
It's a way
right
of not committing to that person, because
which
if something ever come up and that person say, well, I love you, and then he said, well, we're not in a relationship.
We're not
right? Or if she sees him out, he decides to go out with somebody else, and she said, well, I saw you out with somebody else, but we're not in a relationship. But we're sleeping together, we're doing something, but we're just friends. But see that
they go both ways though. If they agree to be in that type of,
that's if they agree.
If they agree to be in that type of relationship, nobody is secretly leading the one on. This is what they agreed to.
Right.
We're not in a relationship, but we're doing this, that, and the third. Okay, so y'all. It's what y'all want to call it.
Right, but the problem is a lot of times one knows that and the other one doesn't. It's
the extra.
If that's what he said, and he found a person that agrees, that's what she wants.
Right,
to.
that's fine.
Yeah, that's
right. But the problem for me I'll say that. How about that?
Yeah.
For
How about for me? Like,
you.
there are people who can separate sex, and there are people who can separate a relationship.
Right.
But as soon as you put those two together,
Especially for a woman.
that's a relationship.
That's a relationship.
For
With a
men,
woman.
I'm gonna say for men too. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
The men, some of the men.
I just,
You
yeah.
Look,
to
there's 7
me,
billion people on the planet, so some are not going to get it and some are. The people are together that want to be together, whether they're in a mess or they in a perfect relationship. They're together because they want to be. And
Or
and-
one
and
wants
it-
to be.
and it only lasts.
Or
no,
one wants to
one
be.
wants
If they're in it, it's because they want to be.
because I find a lot of times that it's not both people agreed upon. It's one person is doing, and they're saying, well, I'm not ready for a relationship. But they're with this other person, and this other person think that they're in a relationship
Yeah.
because they never conveyed the fact that, oh no, I'm sampling. That's what I call it. I'm
Yeah.
sampling.
A flatter.
But
Yeah.
I'm sampling, but I didn't let you know I'm sampling. And so
but-
now when you come in and you see him with somebody else, then they want to say, well, I'm not in a relationship, but you never told that other person, because had you told that other person, then they would have said, most likely would have said, been given the option. But a lot of times guys won't give a
But
woman
she's
the
saying
option.
that the guy put it out there.
No, he was just
you didn't say
saying.
it like he
He's
was
just
trying to
asking
hide
a
it.
que- No, see,
He's not
this
trying to hide it.
is my.
Not-
So I get the sampling, I get all of that, but I actually don't fault the person who's like, I'm sampling. I fault
Right.
the person who hasn't sought clarity in the relationship they're in. How are you with someone doing whatever you're doing or not doing, even if
Right.
it's just spending time, not asking the question, so where is this going?
But they
What
are
is
asking
this?
the question sometimes,
But
and
if
then the
they're
guys are not giving them the same thing, though, or giving it to them. Then they don't.
So
know.
if they're
I don't
lying,
think-
that's different.
Yeah.
But
Right.
if they're
But see,
but
that's
there's
what you're
also
talking about lying. But what she's talking about is the guy just saying openly, this is what he
No,
wants.
but
This
he
what
was
he
telling
wants.
her that that's
Right.
what he wants, but that's not what he didn't say. That's what he tell the women he come in contact
Right,
with.
and I didn't ask that question.
Yeah.
I didn't get into
But you
it,
know
but
the
he
type
said
of
that's what
person
he
that
was
he is.
looking for. But
Not intimate. That's a friend.
I still
Right, as a friend.
You know, he ain't-
But I still think people get in these types of relationships
Anyway.
and deep down
They
know.
know. Yeah, you
That's
know.
what I'm
They
saying.
know.
I think
You know,
that's
and
what
you
I said.
feel
there's
it. You
and
can
there's
tell.
something they're getting something out of it.
Yeah,
By
but-
And
saying
I had
Whether you
I had
call-
another male friend. We're tight, so I'm not gonna say his name. Like, he like this was a big situation. Like, he told this girl, I cannot be in a relationship. I don't want to be in a relationship.
Right.
And what she says to him is, well, you don't treat me like this is just what it is. The way you treat me feels like more.
Uh-huh.
I feel like we're doing more. And he's like, but no,
But just
we're
because
not.
she couldn't. That's because when she gave her body
Yes.
sexually, she connected. with
shame
him.
on her.
And that was my
But
thing.
if she knew, she should have known herself better enough to
And-
know that if I give my body to you,
Right. And,
then I'm giving you my feelings.
and I know,
mean, some
yeah,
people can.
and I knew her as well. And
Yeah, that's not him. That's her.
getting
Right.
the story from her, I didn't know they were talking about him.
Uh-huh.
Because, people were living out
I've been there.
Right.
Like, oh, that's what you're talking about. Like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
I mean, it took
right.
a while, but
Yeah,
I had already got on her, and I was like, so he told you this, he told you this, he told you this. You're doing this, you're doing this, you're doing this. Why are you mad?
Right.
Because you're doing it, and he told you. And the whole conversation, we're having a whole big conversation about this, and after every couple sentences, I was like, but why are you mad? Like, I don't understand. And then
you agreed to it. If you agreed to it, that means that
and it
she
didn't change.
She was in a hope that he was going to change his mind.
Right.
You can't change somebody, and she thought that if I give my body to him, and if I just be so good to him,
Yeah, the
then all of a
time,
sudden
the
he's gonna,
gifts,
he's gonna change, and now he really wants to be. But that was her mind. She
But in
should have
his
never
mind-
put herself in like that.
And on his end, he was always, I'm just not ready for a full
right.
relationship.
And the
with
man
anybody.
told her that. So if that's what
Yes.
she was looking for, she should have diverted herself and went the other way.
That's
But
not
that's
what
that whole belief that
they
I
wanted
can
to-
change him.
Right.
That gets a woman in trouble.
Right.
You can't
And some
change
men.
him. Yeah, and
So
some men.
anyone, when
Definitely.
people tell you who they are,
Believe them. That's right. That's
Believe them.
right.
And their actions are going to speak louder than their words.
That's right. 'Cause-
Yeah.
But he was consistent with both.
right,
So that's
exactly.
her.
That was her.
That's her and her hope or her.
And that's how me and him
Ambitions
actually
and
became
dreams of
friends.
changing someone.
or yeah, some of it's. I believe a lot of things come down to power and control.
Yes.
So this power of I can be the one that changes him, or
Mhm.
I can be the one to make him see something different.
Yeah.
like you
or
said.
the control of like, can I see if I can manipulate this to be something that I want it to be
Right.
versus like he thinks he's getting it for this, but I'm gonna get it for that. And
Right.
Like
she
playing
just
themselves.
Right.
yeah, but
when
she
they
just
do that.
ended up on the
short stick.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because now
Well,
she
it's
got
her
emotions tied
It's-
into it,
That's her fault.
and he looking at her like,
I told you.
I
this
told
is
you
what it
this.
is.
This is
But
what I
people,
told you. So-
people play mind games with themselves like
They
that
do.
because if you're
All
not
the time.
because if you're not seeking clarity, then you're playing mind games with
Or
yourself.
she
You're
has
trying to stay-
clarity.
You're trying to date. You're
Clarity.
trying to stay in the
and you
dark.
still in
But
the dark. You still
internal,
the
her internal awareness,
Yes.
that understanding of when he stands before you and says this, and you're in your head about what you really think he's saying, and you're not actually right.
You're looking at him, but his
that's
lips are
a-
flapping in your mind. What's going in your ears is
That's
not
an
what's coming out of
internal-
his mouth.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
an internal self-awareness gap.
That's
Yes.
right. Yes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and it kind of, because I wrote a blog on it. I'll put it in the group later, called Grown Up Conversations. It's like a lot of people always say, well, you have to watch their actions. No, you got to listen to what people say too. Like I can tell you, no, we're not going to be together, and love up all on you all day, all tomorrow, and the next day. But no, I don't want to be with you.
Uh-huh.
Some people just say, well, we spent 3 days together. We're going to be together forever.
What you
But
say?
they're still telling you, no, we're not. It's not going to happen.
Mhm.
So it kind of, you have to do both. You have to pay attention to what people say and what people do. And if what they're saying is more adamant and the direct opposite of what they're doing, you need to either remove yourself from the situation or get clarification, because that just might be how they show intimacy, or and it just seems extra because you're not used to it or
Right.
something like that.
I
So,
think too, you need to know yourself.
Mm.
Know
Mhm.
yourself, because if you know yourself, you won't put yourself in situations like that.
mhm.
If you know that you're easily to get attached to someone, if you know that you're easily to fall in love, or if you're not the person for casual sex, or and then somebody comes to you, even I don't care if it's The Rock. If he come up and say, I just want to be with you or whatever, and you know that you can't just be a one night stand to that person,
Mhm.
then you need to say no regardless.
Right.
No.
And I think that's true now for, I'm going to say, middle age and up, we should know. But when you talk now, you take a younger couple, they really don't know themselves.
Older people
Even-
don't know.
Right. I mean, of course, older, but
They don't always know either.
right. I mean, older
people in
don't,
general.
but they're older though. They done bumped their head enough to where they just ain't learned from their mistakes.
Sometimes the street
But
ain't
young
like that.
people is just inexperienced and haven't lived enough. It's two different. What you're saying is true,
Yeah.
but for two different reasons. A young person just haven't lived long enough, haven't experienced things enough. An older person just keep bumping their head up against the wall
Mhm.
because
I think
they choose not to see what's really going on. A young person haven't had enough experiences.
but they
Most older people have. They just choose to be in the dark or in the blind.
But that's why you.
But they
should
get
pay
something out of
attention, too. I'm sure somewhere along the line they've seen a friend, or they may even seen their mom or their dad or somebody go through those same situations.
Young people will get it. They'll get it
Yeah,
eventually.
learn from what it is that you see. But it's the
But
same
they got to
thing
touch
as
that
with-
stove at least one time.
But
though.
yeah, and it's the same thing with
Gotta get
drugs or
that- yeah, you gotta
alcohol or
touch that stove
anything.
with
You
one
see
time.
somebody get hooked on a drug or hooked on this or whatever, and then in your mind you think, well, that will never happen to me.
Mhm.
But you don't really know that.
and
And it's the same, yeah.
And sometimes that's.
But
the
a young
thing.
person
Yeah.
gonna try it because they ain't experienced it.
Older
An
people
older
try it.
person,
They
look,
gonna try
they
it.
done tried and tried and tried it. They
They
either
gonna try it
alcoholic,
again.
drug addicts, and now because they, they should have learned, but they, like you said, they may not. So they done bumped their head enough though. Young person, not so much.
What's enough though?
Huh? Enough to
What's
where
bumped your head enough? Like
because
people-
craziness is what when you keep doing the same thing over and over and getting the same
Right,
results,
I
and it's not working for you.
But sometimes
then
you don't even know you're about to hit your head when you're going into stuff.
You may not, but because you're walking to the same hole, you
If
can
you
walk
walk-
into the same hole every day.
Well,
But-
now
But that's
foolish.
called craziness and stupidity. If you walk into the same hole every day,
Isn't that
okay,
the definition of
tomorrow,
insanity?
right?
Yeah.
That's
It's
the
the
definition.
I
definition of
always say
insanity.
there's
But
nothing worse
That's
than
insanity.
old
yeah, but I think it's both. I think there can
Mhm.
be, you can have young people or
Yes.
inexperienced people
Mm-hmm.
that aren't sure what they want and don't know, or they do know because they've modeled it, they've seen
seen it.
someone,
Mm-hmm.
and the same is true on the other end with older people or more experienced people. But sometimes it's just a choice. There's
Yeah.
some
It's
things
always a choice.
yeah, but there's some things
But it's an
that,
informed choice, and then there's a uninformed choice in terms of older people. Like I said, they've experienced it enough times to where now you're making a stupid choice because you already know that hole was right there yesterday. The young person may not, they got to fall into the hole at least once. Now, if they go back tomorrow and fall into the hole again, now they fall into the same footsteps. Now they fall into the footsteps of that older person. Maybe a family member that fell into that same hole 10 times. Now the young person, you're going to fall into that same hole 10 times too. You ain't learning from nobody that you've seen or met mistake. So some people have to learn from making their own mistakes, and some can learn from the mistakes of others. But to continue to be an old fool, then that's just insanity.
Well, okay.
We have all of that out here.
Well, what about okay, with all of the stuff that's going on around here, all the diseases and all the other stuff, is it not appropriate now in a relationship to look at somebody and say, when the last time you had a checkup?
Oh no, that's very appropriate.
Yeah, or when is the last time you had an AIDS test or whatever?
Very appropriate.
But a lot of people don't have those conversations.
I do. I was dating this dude one time. He texted me. He sent me his papers. I said, okay, we might be able to do this. No.
Look,
Yeah,
I don't think I want the
my
text
area.
papers. I think I need to see them with the doctor.
This is in my area. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, but I mean, some people do just to make sure and show people. Some people carry it with them. Some people have it. Some people show
Well,
it.
I mean,
I've heard the case.
Yeah.
I've people
But even in dating, you might want to do a criminal background check.
papers.
Everybody may not want to do criminal background check, but
Right.
some people may, and I ain't gonna say criminal background check, but just a background check on the person that you are.
That's what
that
the
you're-
internet stalking is for.
Well,
You
you
have
call
to
it,
do-
you call it
internet
stalking.
stalking.
Right.
Yeah.
But it ain't necessarily stalking when you thinking about dating this person. It's a legitimate
The
reason to
term
do it.
is internet stalking.
You can
That's
call it
what-
that.
I'm
but that's the
telling you
term.
that's what everybody calls it. I'm not
Well,
telling you
internet
that's what I'm
stalking,
calling
uh-huh.
it.
Right, you're
They
saying
say
that,
when
but-
somebody
It's when
goes to somebody's Facebook,
profile,
Instagram,
all
go
that,
through
you're-
their pictures, they call it internet stalking.
But I'm just saying you can do a background
Yeah,
check.
you can do
Ain't
some
ain't
internet
talking about
stalking,
I ain't talking
you know.
about Facebook, LinkedIn, and all the social media stalking.
Yeah,
I'm
but
just saying
that
a background
but that
check on that
doesn't-
person's criminal
But that
background.
doesn't
pull up
tell
their
you about
records.
their health. I mean, they can have a
Right, that's
800
all
credit
right.
score and have AIDS. I mean, you
Yeah,
know
I ain't
what?
knocking
I'd
that
rather
either.
have them have a 520 and be healthy.
But I'm saying before you even get to
Yeah.
that, just before you decide to even date that person or think about seeing that person any further than the first they tried to holler at you. Okay,
Right.
the guy tried to holler at me, gave you a number and all
Oh
that.
yeah, I Googled them
So
on
yeah,
spot.
just check them
I
out
will
right now.
Google them as they're walking away. As
Then
I get their full
if you
name,
get into a relationship,
I am going to
you might want
Google
to do that.
them. I'm
He
just
said I
saying,
gotta Google them before
I was
everybody
out.
walk
I
away.
was telling, I was
I'm
out in
learning
Charlotte,
tonight.
and I was like, met this dude. He's like, oh, he seems real nice. First thing came up was his mugshot. Not putting that number in my phone. I mean, I'm just saying, like, you don't really have to do a criminal back. Everything is on the internet. If somebody's been arrested, put their name. You got the right name. That's the first thing that's gonna pop up, no matter who
What
it is.
about people that you can't find on the? I don't think
You gotta
people
be living.
see what I'm
of
saying.
that.
If you don't have some kind of something online,
And then something's not right. They just been
Right.
produced
No,
in
you
it.
hiding.
Yeah,
That's not
hiding.
So they ain't got nothing online.
nothing. No, I mean no.
Move
Facebook,
away. That's a
no
serial
LinkedIn,
killer.
Don't have email. Don't have a smartphone.
Email.
I know.
That's
like,
a serial killer.
yeah. I don't.
And
I'm sorry.
And I've met guys that don't do social media.
Right,
I get it.
They
I've
say
met
that, but
men
they
and women
have-
that
they
don't
do
do
have-
social media.
Men
They
and
have
women, there are a lot of
They
people
have
who don't.
Right, well, yeah.
Yeah, they do have an
just saying
email.
for me,
They
if I
do
have-
have,
You
Yeah,
wouldn't-
but you should be able to
Certain
still, if they
things.
have a legitimate job
Yeah, bring them up.
and they're
at
in
night.
someone's org chart or organizational
I get
structure,
that, but
you should be able to
Google
find
them.
So you
something.
saying you wouldn't date somebody that's not on social media,
No,
that don't have a
no.
social media
no,
presence?
she said nothing.
I would date a guy
Right.
that doesn't have social media.
I wouldn't at
That
first
he
because
just not cooked up in that.
But
Yeah,
would
and
you
I
look
said-
in?
I said to a couple guys.
But would you investigate them before dating them? If you can't find nothing about them on social media, would you investigate more
If I
into?
can't find
This is the-
anything
this
about
is the
them,
deal.
yeah.
If I can't see how you present yourself online in a social
Oh.
media kind of place, then I have nothing to go on except what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, if we are meeting and we are actually doing a community service thing together, and I have something, at least
Right.
I
To
know
go
we
off
have
of.
Right.
this
This
in common.
connection.
I don't
Right.
have time to go months and figure out.
Right.
No, I need to go ahead and get me some information.
Right.
So I
Right.
have to have something.
So you like to be empowered before And yeah, I mean, and that's
Who
the
has
thing.
time
But that's
to
the thing
kiss
now.
frogs when you can
Well,
go
that's
ahead
well, that,
and
to me, that's
find some
what
information.
online dating I don't have time for, because
How come you say that?
I don't have time to sit there trying to figure out, okay, because if you're gonna lie to me, you're gonna lie to me face to face. I don't need to read that you jumped off mountains and you about, your abs are tight and 6-pack and all that, and then I see you and you 300 pounds and you jump up over a stair less than a mountain. I don't need to go
I
through
love
all
online
that.
So have
dating.
you experienced
I
this?
do
Yeah.
But
online
they-
dating.
Have you experienced this personally? Like
What?
that
Being
scenario?
catfished.
Not as far as
That's what it's
online
called.
dating, but
I'm sorry.
I did. I was in the
Learned so much.
military,
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
and I was answering phones. You know how they like to check when people are getting houses or stuff like that. They'll call and
Mhm.
check to see if the person
Verify.
is verified. And so this one particular guy, he very white type voice,
They don't
all
never
deep
fit.
and
They
so,
don't
yeah,
never fit.
And so as time went on of him calling and checking and stuff like that, we got communication going and stuff like that. So he said, hey, how about, we go out? And I was like, okay, well, I'll meet you. And we were going to meet at this restaurant. And so, okay, now from his voice, I'm like, yeah, this is going to be nice. He's had good conversation and all this stuff. So I'm driving up and there's this like 300-pound guy standing there in this thing. And I thought,
that's not
I
him.
hope that's not him.
Oh, big guys
I
need love
said-
too.
I said,
But not from everybody. But not from everybody.
What did he?
but I didn't.
Oh, it was a voice.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So
Right,
I said, okay. So I said, darn, I think he saw me.
Let me go on park.
Let me go on park.
You gonna drive on by. You gonna do a drive
Yeah,
by.
so I went ahead and I parked.
okay.
Now, mind you, I'm in the military. At that point, I will run 2 times a day.
Right.
I was gym. I was, this is what I'm looking for somebody that's going to be able to do the same exact thing with me.
Yeah.
So I got out and I went in and he said, hi, how you doing? And so we go inside and of course it's buffet.
Imagine.
Of course. This is going south. This is going nowhere.
So we go in and I fix my one little plate and I go, and so he's sitting there and so he's just eating, he's finished. I'm still on that one plate and I'm just looking at him. And then he gets up and he goes for another plate. So he said, so what do you like to do? At that point, before I could even catch myself, I said, I like to work out.
And he like to pig out. So
and his
That's not-
response was, "Oh, I don't work out. I don't like to work out."
No,
he says,
don't say.
We got that.
Yeah. He says, I work on, because he worked at the mobile home place. He said, I work at a mobile home place and we have to walk up and down those things all day long. And I thought in my mind, you don't walk enough, baby. And all I could think in my mind was, is this over?
Right.
As I watch him gorge down these plates, and all I could think
So
of was
his voice didn't match his body.
at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he
I think it was
didn't-
more
he
of my
didn't-
mind.
But he
Yeah,
didn't
yeah.
miss by 3 seconds.
It was
He
right. It was
Right.
more in
You
my
didn't-
mind. I
You
right.
didn't
We're talking
necessarily
about
get.
online dating,
But that's what
though.
I.
And that's what-
But that's what I'm saying. But to
Okay.
go back to that, you don't really know what you're getting. I mean, yeah, they might be putting a picture out there if it's them, or it may not even. It might have been a
Yeah.
picture from
30 years ago.
Yeah, you got
And-
sitting out there, and you don't know what it is that you're gonna get until
And
you
it could
finally.
be-
Yeah.
That's
And
true.
I can say that I've done online dating. I actually met my husband online.
Oh, okay.
Met on Match years ago, like 2003,
Mhm.
before people were really, really doing it.
Uh-huh.
And I mean, it worked until it didn't.
Mhm.
I mean, we were together,
Just like if you
right?
met
And
at the grocery
just like if we
store,
met
we're-
anywhere else,
Right,
we were
right.
together 8 years, married 5. So it's not like
It just
It-
started and stopped. And then
right.
Yeah,
It wasn't,
right.
And I've done a little bit since then, and I can say I've not been catfished.
Mhm.
I have learned that.
What's catfish?
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
she's throwing out
Catfish
all these
I
terms.
know,
Catfish
right? Pay
is
attention.
a-
You write that in
Right.
here.
is exactly what Sandra was talking about. When someone posts up the wrong
Oh, they
pictures,
misrepresent
wrong
it.
names, age,
Catfish.
all that, and they put it out there as them. Like, there's a whole show called Catfish.
Oh, wow, I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
and
Okay.
so they go and investigate
God.
these people. They'll have like these people will have like pictures
Oh, yeah.
of models or different
Musicians
things
and
and
stuff.
saying that that's
Why
them.
would you do that though?
Because they want they figure if you
Yeah.
talk to them enough and
You're
you
gonna
started,
be
you're gonna be
okay.
okay with it when they finally reveal themselves
Yeah.
to you because you've now connected yourself to them.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, that is so crazy.
And
Sickness
the-
in the
the-
mind.
And the
sickness in
craziest
the
one
Has to-
where this
Who's got time for
this
that?
girl, somebody got this girl pretended that she was Bow Wow to another girl. Like, so this girl's thinking she's
Okay, what's
dating
Bow
Bow
Wow?
Wow.
Little Bow
Little
Wow.
Bow
Oh,
Wow.
I don't know who that is.
He's a
He was
He ain't
already.
little no more
Chad,
either.
No, I really don't.
What's his name? Yeah.
Rashad,
He ain't little about, but yeah, that's.
I think you should know. So we'll just take it off.
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll just and that you know.
so it's misrepresentation.
Yes, misrepresentation. So I will say that I haven't had any instances of that to where somebody misrepresented themselves to that extent.
Yeah.
I do make sure that I get pictures with people smiling because I've had some no teeth.
See, that's what I
I'm just
can't
saying.
go through all that.
And
I just
everybody
can't
has
do
their
all
own
that.
preference.
Married.
Yes,
Married
and
is
everybody has their own
good.
preference.
Yes.
Like I'm
The single, like,
I don't like bigger dudes just because I'm a small frame woman. I just
You don't want nobody to be able to pick you up, throw you on the
So,
side,
but-
and say,
No, I don't want
man.
anybody-
But what's the
It's
upside?
exciting, but
What's the upside to, I guess, dating online and opposed to,
Oh, I got.
I guess, the old school way of doing it?
Um,
I mean, yeah, I don't think it's
well,
I don't think it's a bad thing in this day and age
yeah,
because you got
sometimes
many
it's-
ways to figure and see a person
Yeah,
online. It ain't just like I said,
Right.
if you go and match. That
and I
way,
do it. I do it because I don't know. I've said this on the show before. I don't get approached when I'm out. Guys don't talk to me. I don't know what it is, and I tell people this like, oh my goodness, I don't believe that. Guys don't approach me. They don't talk to me. They don't approach me. They may say hi. Oh, you look very
Do
nice.
you approach
And
them?
then sometimes. Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Okay.
that's the only way I'm
I'm just saying
talking
though,
about.
if they approach you, you gotta
The
approach them.
only way I'm
But
gonna meet
sometimes y'all be
somebody.
saying,
No.
if no guy don't approach me,
They're
I ain't
probably
gonna approach him.
intimidated because they think, okay, well, I'm not in her league.
That she
Right,
must be
and
with
that's what I've been
somebody.
told, that
Right.
I present myself as wifey material. I pretty much I'm not easy. I don't appear to be easy, and most men when they're out and about sometimes don't want to put in work. And this is what I've been told by my male friends, because I ask them like, what is it? And they're like, no, you're cool, you're good, you're this. I'm like, y'all are saying this because you know me. If you saw me come into a place, what are your first thoughts? And then that's the feedback that I've gotten. So that's why I do online dating, because I get to talk and meet different people. And I've not had the success I had, or lack of success, I don't know, with my husband. But I've met some good friends. Like some of the guys, we ended up still being friends. Like one of them, we hang out like once a month. We go to the same little dance event. I see him, we dance, we hang out. And it's just a way to meet people, meet guys, and not always have to stand around and think you got to wait.
What about
And
the
then-
grocery store?
I don't go to the
You
grocery
don't go to
store.
the grocery store. Everybody
No.
go to the grocery
No,
store.
No.
we order Amazon Prime now.
Get out.
No,
You do what?
No, I don't.
Amazon Prime now.
You
go to the grocery store.
Amazon Prime now delivers food.
Yeah.
Sounds you go to the grocery store.
I go to the grocery
The
store.
reason I do
Yeah.
online dating is efficiency.
Yeah.
It's just and it's a way for me to filter. And I'm a sapiosexual.
Yes,
Right.
that's right.
What's that?
Sapiosexual.
I am very
That's right.
attracted to intelligent
The
people.
mind.
So
Yes.
if you can write, I know you probably can speak.
And that's
And
me.
And if you can't get your sentences together, I'm not going to be
I
attracted.
will
You're not
stop
gonna be
at
able to
the
keep
first two. If you
Come on.
have put
my-
your
Sapiosexual.
YOUR, it's supposed to be
I'm
YOU
very-
apostrophe RE, I can't read any more of your
Right.
profile.
Yeah.
If there are misspelled words, I
Yes.
can't read
It
any more of your
hurts
profile.
even.
If you make a full profile in text
The whole-
speech,
right.
I cannot read any more of your profile.
There's a lot about a person, the way that I'm a writer.
Yes.
But the way
See,
that they write. That's
I'm not a
important to me.
dater.
You're not going to be able to communicate.
I'm not a dater. So to me, I don't like the whole thing of meeting this one, go out and see if I like that one, meeting that one and go out and see if I like that one. That I just
We don't have to go out. Sometimes you can talk to them on the phone and know, not gonna happen. But
And sometimes it's not all about dating. It's about collaborators. People
Yeah.
in the world that you know that you could do
connect
something
with on different levels,
Yeah.
and it doesn't have
It's
to.
just relationships.
And that's
Yeah,
what I'm
that's-
saying.
I get that.
Yeah,
Okay.
a lot of
Yeah.
them we just been like we become friends. It's
Exactly.
not always about You know, like the one I was talking about saying what he wanted. I met him online. We're not gonna be together, but he's a cool guy, and so we meet up every couple of weeks, talk, have dinner, or whatever. But it's not, you know, relationship.
It's not like a relationship.
Right.
That's
Yeah, but I like him, and I was like, I like you, and I wouldn't mind you being around as a friend. Like this is. And I tell people get nervous. I tell people that I like them, and they're like, "Oh my God, not like that." Like, you know, you have to like somebody before you go anywhere. Like certain steps. There are people I talk to when I can't stand. I'm like, my girlfriend gets on me because she says I have a 2-week thing, and I'm gonna hurry up. Like in dating, and it's not that I have a 2-week thing. My thing is you can only irritate me so much in a short period of time. If you irritated me within 2 weeks, at least 5 times. I don't even need you around. I don't want to be your friend. I don't want to date. I don't want to talk to you. I don't. So. It ends up being a short period of time. So it seems like I'm dating these people short periods of time. But no, I'm getting to know them. And I found out, I don't even like you. But you have to do that.
I don't even like you.
But you have to do that to know if you're going to like them or not.
Right.
And that's
in any type to be in any type of relationship, whether it be friend or otherwise.
Right, that's the best way to find out.
Yeah, and that's what she was saying. I'm a sapiosexual as well, and you have to
do terminology.
Well, I ain't going to try to say the word, but look,
and you got to stimulate the brain.
So smart.
Yes, you have to stimulate the brain at all times.
Let me get you
not all times because I like to do silly stuff too.
Let me get you to plug your book. Let people know that your book is out and available.
Oh, we don't have to.
Hey. Adrienne Charleston, I got my book, Butterfly Flow. It's a book of poetry, and it is about living, learning, and loving. And that's how the book is set up in the stages of the butterfly. So if you get the book and you get the poems, you will be able to... you get the book and you get the poems, you'll be able to know that the poems are set up. In the beginning, that's when you're living, and that's when you're a caterpillar. You're running around the world trying to figure out what's right, what's for you, what's this, what's that. And then in the middle, you're thinking and you're learning from everything that's happened to you and with you and for you. And then at the end, you figure out that all that you were looking for was yourself and the love of yourself, and that's when you're the butterfly. So the poems are set up in that way too. Nice. And I'm actually writing a self-help book with the same theme, and hopefully it'll be done this year. I'm doing some editing, proofreading, and organizing now, so it's gonna take a couple months for me to sit down and do it because I'm all over the place. So my next book will be out soon.
All right, so that's Adrienne Charleston. Butterfly Flow. Is that on Amazon, Barnes and Noble?
You can get it on my website at adrienne-charleston.com. So it's ADRIENNE - or hyphen, however you want to say it, charleston.com. So it's easy, and you can follow me at AC Butterfly Flow on Instagram and Twitter, and it's on the link in there as well, so you can see me. ADRIENNE.
And tell them if they want to hear one of your
Charleston. .com. www is in the front if you want to do it. Okay. And actually, if you're in the Raleigh-Durham area, we'll be at Noir. Sandra and I, we're going to be doing some poetry tomorrow night, starting at 7. Get there early because Noir is downtown Raleigh. And get there early because you don't want to miss anything. We have the place from 7 to 10, and we start promptly. And you want to see everybody. The feature will be Fuse. If you don't know who he is, you might want to find out. Great poet. So go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's great.
You know, parents, the end of April, my book is coming out. Well, my 4th book is coming out, Healing the Hole in the Soul. So I'll talk about that more as we get closer to that date. It'll be on Amazon. That's the other books.
Great.
Roshana.
You can learn more at terrenceperry.com.
You can.
terrenceperry.com. Yep. Hey, everyone. So I'm Roshana Price, and I have a couple of sessions of mastermind groups for those who want to get into groups and get coaching. Live coaching. It's out on Facebook as an event. You can search leadership, and it's there. Sign up so that you can have some time where if you've got questions, challenges, you're trying to navigate, you can be a part of a group, have 6 hours of coaching at a really reduced rate so that you can experience the power. You can also find me on Facebook. I am posting another article tomorrow on LinkedIn. So read about perspective and what you see, and look forward to seeing you soon.
Oh, and give us your take on awesomeness.
Oh, yeah. So you can find my profile, The Giver of Awesomeness, book coming out in the future. So, it's something that I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to put that together. Yeah. But you can also find me on my website at johnmaxwellteam.com/Roshana Price.
Okay. All right. All right, hello everybody. I have a couple of things that's in the works. One, I am a Mary Kay Senior Independent Beauty Consultant, and so I have a class in. I have a class April the 1st, skincare class from 3 to 5 at 600 Six Forks Avenue in Raleigh, Suite 202. Come to that. And also I am in the midst of launching my new company, Boots to Heels, which is a brand and imaging company, and I'm getting everything together, and hopefully I'll be able to launch it in August.
Great. And I think I know what Boots to Heels means, but can you explain it to them out there? Because you're on military too.
That's right. Well, my company is brand and imaging, and it's from transitioning, and that's exactly what I did when I went from military, which was boots.
Yes.
And now I'm in heels.
That's right.
So from 3 inch. So I went from boots to heel, which was a transitional point in my life, and that's why I named the company that.
All right. Yeah. See, I knew
Congratulations.
that. But I didn't even know you had a company called
That's
that.
right.
But I
love that.
Yes, I do too.
Well done, everybody.
Yes.
Let me just say too, if you want to know more about each of these ladies, you can go on my daytime talk show. Let's talk relationships, but lifelong learners. AmnonCommunications.com. Go on demand, and you'll see shows that they've had that they've done, and you can find out more about each one of these ladies. So listen, I appreciate Facebook Live tuning in. We'll be back next Thursday as always. Y'all have a good one till the next time.
Bye.
Bye.
All right.
Nice job.
And
Yes.
Yay.
Yeah.